What's up, guys? It's Wolfgang back with another Dorkfish review, and today we are looking at the Inarts Dark Knight Trilogy Batman. Let's get into it. Now, I know this figure and this version of Batman needs no introduction, so instead of telling you about the background of Batman or this figure, let's talk about where you can find a figure like this. If you're in Georgia and you're looking for a killer place to find killer collectibles like Inarts, SH Figure Arts, Mezco, Mafex, Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, Figma, or any other kind of toy, statue, or collectibles line, this also includes apparel, skate decks, records, video games, comics, and much, much more, then you need to go to Killer Finds in Hiram, Georgia. That's right, Killer Finds, Hiram, Georgia. They are the killer place to find your killer collectibles. And now, that said, let's get into the review, starting with the box and accessories. Alright, and for the boxes, you've got this cover. Nice Inart on it. Got Batman on the top. And deluxe on the bottom. You have a second covering. Nice Inart on the front. You got it across the top. The back kind of reminds me of SH Figure Arts and how they do their shippers. And for the last box, the actual box, and it looks good. Only thing is you can get your fingerprints on it super easy because of the kind of box it is. But Dark Knight Trilogy on the side, Inarts on the top, side here, the back. It's pretty plain, but also pretty sleek and good looking. I actually do like it. And that is the boxes. So now let's check out the accessories. Alright, and for accessories, we're going to start with the bottom tray, which has his stand and plaque. And just a basic clear acrylic stand piece to hold him. Although it's the kind of size that if you have some of the other stands that exist in the world, you could probably port those in. And then the plaque from the stand on, and that is beautiful. Chrome, looks great, nice matte finish. And then on the bottom, love that. And lastly, at the bottom tray, his alternate head, the Bruce Wayne head. And it is immaculate. This is beautiful. I love the glossy finish on the eyes, so it looks like real eyes. Oh my god, they killed it. This sculpt and paint is, it's unreal how good this is. If I had one gripe and one gripe only, it's that the head is attached to the neck. I wish it was its own floating head. But other than that, this is, just look at the way they textured it. They layered it and textured it to look like his actual flowing hair. This is amazing. This is the best Christian Bale head sculpt I've seen, hands down, bar none, from anyone. And for the top tray, he comes with a huge spread of accessories. He has obviously the head that you see on him in package, as well as the fist hands come on him. Starting with his weapon accessories, he has his batarangs, which these are kind of, from the first one, the more simpler ones, super tiny. Then he has the bigger batarang. And this one's the one with the split in the hump because you would fold it. I do kind of wish he maybe came with one that folded or one that was already pre-folded to look like he was folding them or unfolding them. But he's got his grapnel gun. And that looks great. He's got his sticky bomb gun. Amazing detail there. I even like that they put the red right there where he'd be looking through. He's got his, I don't really know what to call it. I guess I could look it up. But this is the gun that shut down cars and electronics. And it looks great. That front is fantastic. As for the mounts, obviously the one that's on him is in package, and then they interchange with a peg in the back. Look at that detail. That looks great. As you can see, there's a peg there. And I will show you how to change it out. You've got this mouth here. Again, looks fantastic. Now, you've got some matching hands and some mismatched hands. So, for left and right, you've got these kind of relaxed posed hands here. Look at the shininess on the knuckles, the details in the hands. So well done. You've got these more stylized posed hands. You've got this one, which is more of a bracing hand, probably for holding the gun here, like such, right? You've got this one, which is a bracing hand, but probably for this gun. So yeah, bracing it for here. Fits right in. You've got a hand for the batarangs, so you can do with throwing the batarang pose. And then you've got a trigger finger for all of his gun-like accessories. And then you've got his cape, and his cape is fantastic. It's not wired, but it is a nice, heavy, and very, very fine material. It's very good. I love the material. So it sits heavy, and it stays pleated, but it ports in on the chest, and the chest pops off via magnets. I promise it's not that hard to get off. There we go. So you got magnets there, and it just ports in. And then let me just put ports in, and you put the magnets back on, and boom, it's ready to go. And yeah, there we go. Boom, that simple. And then right quick, let me show you the head. Super easy to remove on a double ball peg, which we'll talk about, but there's that port. So you just pop it out this way, and then you can put any mouthpiece in there to interchange his expressions. Maybe I wish we had a growling or yelling mouth head. But other than that, couldn't ask for better, couldn't ask for more. And while we're here, let's just look at that. So well done. In fact, while we're here, let's just go ahead and talk about the aesthetics of the figure, because the accessories are amazing. And as good as the accessories are, this figure's aesthetic is 10 times better. It's, to me, the best part, even better than the articulation. This thing looks so amazing. There's so much detail the way they did it. They made the plates individual in here, so you can move it. It looks like the fabric stretching with him. And it looks great. There's so much detail work done in him. The belt is fantastic. The boots, look at the texturing in the boots. Even in the knees, when you bend it, you can see the texturing and the outfit carrying on. Same with the elbows. The detail in the back. So it looks like the suit's flexing with them. They just really, really nailed it. I am super, super happy with this figure's aesthetic. The only thing aesthetically I don't like is if you're not careful with posing, you'll get the gapping in here. See if I can create, well, yeah, because the belt can ride high and it floats. So if you're not careful and your belt's riding high, see, you'll get that gap there. Just make sure your belt is down where it's supposed to be. And then, my God, it just looks so good. Yeah, I am super happy. Aesthetically, this figure is amazing. I could not have asked him to do anything different. I love the paint all the way around it. The sculpting. It's just, I think it's perfect. I actually literally think it's perfect. I literally do not think they could have done anything differently aesthetically. I can't think of anything. So let's move on from aesthetic and let's talk about articulation. And for articulation, his head is on a double ball peg. So it moves pretty good. Looking forward, looking down without the neck assistance is good. Looking up without the neck assistance is really good. You get your attitude and it turns pretty easy. And then when you add that neck in, look at how far down he can look. How far up he can look. His side to side is insane and it still looks good. Might not completely look natural, but it looks great. This part right here is on its own piece that swivels and attaches, so you can move his arm up more because of that. It's super clean the way to do that. See how far you can get the arm up with that piece? That is amazing. And then it's attached here, so you can go all the way around, although it won't look natural to the armor because the shoulder plate's not where it's supposed to be. But it tucks in or over the cape however you want and looks good. You do have a bicep swivel, although it doesn't look like it. You got a little bit of a joint in there. It's not perfect, but it will do. You've got your double jointed elbows. And the way the elbows are done, you are supposed to be able to spin this gauntlet. But unfortunately, because of the way this is done, I will say you're not really able to spin it without scraping plastic. So just be careful of that. And then you do have a regular pin and hinge hand. And it, for the most part, functions pretty good. And then you've got your upper torso. Now, on the upper torso, every plate's individual. I think it's just one ball peg running through. So you can turn, but you are going to push and stress this plastic, so be careful of that. So you can go with everything together about that far forward, everything together about that far back. Your side to side is okay, not perfect. You get more of it at the hip, which you can turn really easy. It's just a ball peg in there for your kick up. Perfect. Splits. Almost, not quite. Thigh cut. Double jointed knee. Knees are kind of the same as the elbows. You should be able to rotate them at that point, but you do also have a boot rotation, but it's limited. And then you have ankles that go that far down, that far up. You've got your ankle rocker, which is good enough. And then you've got a boot cut. And I like the details on the bottom, but I still am not a boot cut person. I think that it looks a little goofy when you have it flat because it creates a little extra hump. But otherwise, yeah, that's his articulation. And he is good enough. So is he the best articulated figure I've ever touched? No. Is he good? In some facets, yes. In some facets, a little rough. But that being said, I can overlook that because the things they do aesthetically to maintain the sculpt and to make him look good in some of the dynamic poses he can get in, I'm okay with it. I still really love this figure, even for some of the limitations he has. And there's not many, let's be clear. I am not hating on this figure at all. I am saying there's a few things here or there that could have been done better. And in future, they will continue to work on. I am super excited to see what they do next. We'll be getting Catwoman in October when she comes out to review. So with the articulation covered, let's go ahead and get into size comparison. Here he is next to a older DC Multiverse Alfred, as well as a Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman, and you can tell he is a touch small compared to them. Inart seems to be going kind of, in this particular figure's case, closer to the SH Figure Art scale. Here he is next to a G.I. Joe classified police officer and the McFarlane Dark Knight Rises Bane. And the police officer scale looks pretty good. I'm okay with that. It's the Bane that's clearly larger than him, dwarfs him. Although I will say, if we were talking about a comic accurate Bane, that would be pretty dang close, I think, depending on your version. But as far as movie goes, yeah, not even close. Tom Hardy in real life is actually shorter than Christian Bale. All right, and closing thoughts. This is the best Christian Bale Batman on the market, bar none. There's no other figure from any line that touches this figure when it comes to the Batman Dark Knight Trilogy series. But I do believe Inarts has made an amazing figure here, and if they continue to grow off of this and expand, which I know they've done with some other figures, they are just going to be a juggernaut, a force to be reckoned with, and possibly in the near future, the #1 toy company. But I will say there's still things that they have to be fair with. The way they did the articulation to save the sculpt, I love. But there's still some articulation issues in terms of how his waist, getting him to really pose up. Scale is a big thing. I would say my #1 issue with Inarts is scale. The Dark Knight series figures seems to be a little small compared to regular 6-inch figures from other lines. Whereas their Arkham Origins Batman is huge compared to a lot of other lines. Kind of fits in with a McFarlane or Storm Collectibles. So my number one critique is scaling. They need to figure out their scale. If they're going to go big, go big. If they're going to be a little smaller, be a little smaller. I would prefer them to be just right in the center to actually match it with their 6-inch lines. But we'll see what they do. They just need to settle into a scale where their stuff fits across the board. So that being said, guys, I'm going to bring this review to an end. There's not much more I can say other than get this figure. It's worth it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Please comment down below your favorite Batman. And have yourself a killer day. Later, Wolfgang's out.